Let's discuss that Chiefs-Seahawks game.
Okay.
The Chiefs' 4 losses. I tweeted it out last night. Where is it? They've now given up 43, 54, 29, and 38 in their 4 losses.
Given up or scored?
Given up. That's what they've allowed. And they've scored, 40 and 51 and 28 and 31.
Right. That's the most
top of my head.
That's the most important thing to me is that this felt like the Chiefs' offense was suffocated and they put up 31 points.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the story, all the way through their season. The losses they've scored, I don't know, what is that in average? 35, 40 points on average when they lose?
Yeah. It's pretty incredible. So, how concerned are you? First off, I just can't wait for the playoffs. If you think about the playoff moments that like Mahomes and Watson and some of these quarterbacks are going to have, Russell Wilson playing an underdog role, maybe having to go through Dallas and that really good defense. I mean, there's so many good stories that are going to occur in the playoffs. How concerned are you by the Chiefs' defense? Even though they're ready to have the #1 seed, they've been in multiple games right now where they've had to make key stops and they haven't even come close. When they faced good offenses in shootout situations, it's a toss-up.
Yeah,
they're a #1 seed where when you get them into their game, which is a shootout situation, they're no lock to win.
No, they're not. But I think they're still a favorite to win because their offense is better than pretty much anybody else's. And we talked about this all season long. You don't even need – you just need the defense to come up big once, right? Basically in the game.
Yeah.
I think they're still in a good situation because they are likely to be in the #1 seed, which is going to put them in some pretty favorable situations. I think the same thing is true for the Chargers – or the Chiefs as it is for the Chargers. The worst team they could face in the postseason will be the Ravens. I think the Ravens give the Chiefs problems. The Ravens give the Chargers problems. In fact, the Ravens probably give everybody in the AFC problems.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it be? See, I think it's anybody with a good quarterback, though. So I think Brady put up 40 against them with the Patriots because a good quarterback. They have not slowed down a good quarterback in passing attack yet. Brady's put up 40 against them. If they had to face Andrew Luck, they're putting up 30+ against Kansas City. Phillip Rivers again. See what happens, but Rivers has generally had a couple pretty good games against them. I mean, Watson. If they had to go up against Watson and the Texans passing offense,
I'm not concerned by their ability to win a shootout. I am very concerned by their ability to win a game where they run up against a defense that can actually limit the offense and will grind the clock out the way the Ravens did. Like if they turn that game into what we saw between the Ravens and the Chargers, that is completely uncharted territory for this Chiefs offense. If they go into yet another shootout, it's nothing new. This Chiefs been doing that all season long. They're comfortable.
Yeah, but there's a difference between comfortable and playing your odds.
I mean, they're 11-4, so their odds have been reasonably good at winning those games.
Yeah. How many? But against some pretty good playoff teams, they have not won. That's the concern.
Being at home for them is going to be big. Like Arrowhead is
that's
pretty
big.
significant.
That's definitely a big
advantage for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a little concerned. So supposedly Andy Reid was saying he was getting a look at some of the younger guys on the defensive side of the ball. So maybe that is a factor. Yesterday did sum up this whole pass rush versus coverage thing because they were getting pressure on Russell Wilson. Sometimes, again, Russell Wilson has these games where he's just in the zone and he's like, all right, I know the rush is going to get to me. I'm actually I'm just going to wait for it and then navigate it.
Yeah.
That's what quarterbacks are really doing that these days at a high level. You're not supposed to look at the rush. You're not supposed to pull your eyes down. But there are certain plays where Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, they're almost just you know what? I don't want to make this play within the pocket. I'm going to see the rush. I'm going to navigate it perfectly and then create my own passing lane. That's what makes these guys so difficult to slow down. But you've got Travarius Ward in the secondary yesterday getting torched. Steven Nelson was in great coverage on a couple plays, but the throw was just spectacular. Tremont Smith, who was playing in the secondary for the Chiefs?
Yeah, throw and catch was pretty spectacular a couple of times.
Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, they made a couple of plays that you really shouldn't be able to make. I think there's something to this idea that he was taking a look at a bunch of guys that, young people, and see what they had, because there are a bunch of names on that team with very little experience that had extensive playing time in that game. The other thing is Chris Jones extended that streak of sacks and crazy impact plays.
Yeah.
He may be entering that conversation of the Fletcher Cox,
the
next best guy.
The guy behind
Aaron
Donald. Yeah. He had 4 missed tackles, too, which is hilarious, but 2 sacks, a QB hit, and 5 hurries on 32 rushes.
He has been pretty absurd. And his sort of run of ridiculously good grades and actually crushing people in terms of overall pass rush and grade has been pretty ridiculous right now.
Yeah. Mike Renner did a video breakdown on Chris Jones. If you guys are watching on the YouTube channel, you guys can check that out. Again, if you're not watching, go check it out. Mike did a great job. It was Mike's victory lap for calling him a top 3 to 5 player.
He really did. I mean, we each have...
Our grading backed it up, though, too.
He graded really well.
We weren't strong enough saying he was 3 to 5, but our grading said this dude's a top 10 player, top 15 player, for sure.
So
that's
right
a steal,
now,
top of the
he's
second.
moved himself on the season to a 91 overall grade, which is slightly below Fletcher Cox's 91.8. So he's kind of in that ballpark at this point.
And Donald's, what, 95?
Donald, 95.2.
Yeah. Pretty good.